To iterate through a string, one character at a time, we can use the for in statement.
As we look at our first code cell that has a for loop using the in keyword, we are going to get a variable that we assign a string. In this case, it is the word cello. And what happens in this for loop is it's going to iterate through this string that we've provided at the word cello and iterate through each character in that word. So it's going to first get the first character, a C, and then an E, then an L. And the first time through, when it's going to do with that E that it grabs, it's going to assign it to this variable letter. And this is an arbitrary name that we've put there. We can put any variable, valid variable name there. And so then what happens is it's going to print the C, and it'll go back through and get the next character, the E, and that will be assigned to letter. And so we can see that run right here. And so we print out cello, each letter at a time. And I can do the same type of loop without using letter because, again, that it's not a keyword. It's just a variable name that I defined. So I have to keep the word variable because word contains my string, and that's what I'm going to iterate through. But for each character that's going to be returned as I iterate through, I can put whatever valid variable name I like. So now I'm changing that to item. And we see that the same code can run using item. And just one final time, here I have the word, again, could be still cello or trumpet, but I changed it to piano. And I just put an X in here for the iteration variable. And so let's go ahead and run that and see that works as piano. And I could call it XYZ, and it will still work because it really doesn't matter what I use as long as I use a valid variable name. So see that will run again. In this final example here, I use a student name variable, and I have the name Sky, and then I have a new name variable that is an empty string. What happens is we're going to iterate through each of the characters in the name Sky, and we're going to assign it to that LTR, standing for letter, temporary variable, so it comes through, and so it gets the S that goes through, and so it says, okay, here's the S, let me put it to lowercase and compare it to this lowercase y. If it is equal, then we'll run this code, but it's not equal, so what we're going to do is just add that letter to this empty string. So it starts off with S, and then it will add a K. Then when it gets to this Y, it will execute this code right here, which says take that letter and make it uppercase. So at the end of that loop, we print out the variable, the new name. And so let's go ahead and look at that code. So you see it can run through and change Sky to Sky with a uppercase Y. And so we can run string tests on those letters as we iterate through each character. We can run the string comparisons, and we can use a for loop with the in keyword to iterate through each character in a string.